First thing out of your lips, if you're going to tell someone you're a flat earther, tell them how it's measured flat. Someone brings up the horizon because they're a globe believer who thinks it's curving, tell them how it's practically applied. To establish Earth as flat, it's flat. That's how it's functionally operating. And if they understand that, be it through the development of maps or the use of maps, if it's celestial navigation that you're talking about, surveying as Dave used, but with a focus on it to the point where the audience member knows at the end of that discussion, this is how Earth is functionally flat.
Almost the same height as the balloon, but then we have a picture from NASA and we get this.
Yeah, wow.
This is stupid.
Stupid? What about telling him the practical application of a horizon that establishes a horizontal plane? Rather than just saying NASA's pictures are stupid. Is this the standard? I feel ashamed.
Without official lens. And when you're up high, you can't even see. The Earth is all whited out. I mean, you go back, it's kind of, the colors are muted.
Who gives a crap? So the horizon has a practical application, though, doesn't it? In both building, surveying, and celestial navigation, you can reference a horizontal plane by use of the horizon. That's its useful practical application in the real world. You establish horizontal with it. Clue is in the name. Establishing a horizontal plane of reference is establishing Earth as flat. They don't ridicule you. It's not the reaction that we get on the internet from faceless, nameless trolls who want to make their numbers seem larger by having 25 sock accounts and sharing their pain continually, making it their dedicated job to fight the flat Earth as a woman beater, projecting their aggression onto us. That's what we have to deal with? No, we don't. No. You don't have to deal with anti-flat earthers as a primary concern when you get here. And as me, a videographer and flat earther who's disseminating this information to an audience, I want to disseminate to them that Earth's flat. That's the bit that's important, isn't it?
And how you need a flat Earth for all of it. If you're just gonna go into their claims, you're gonna get caught up with that. So, but what David Weiss seems to still want to do, which is like the old 2015 format, is how do we convince these ballers they're wrong? Well, good luck with that. Yeah, we've been trying that for a while. They always just go back to the beginning. So it is technically pointless. I agree with that. It's better to just understand exactly how the Earth is flat and just lay that down and then try to make the ballers respond to that.
Yeah, well, we need to shout this loud and clear. Let's pick someone less hostile, because Dave Weiss has become a hostile, unfortunately, but people like Mark Sargent are not, and he has typically had a fair amount of praise from us for giving a soft landing to people when they're stuck in a heliocentric rhetoric. Well, given the stats that he himself is publishing in regards to the uptake of flat Earth and the comprehension thereof in the general populace, I can say that future newcomers don't need that feast of nonsense soft landing.
I have to completely disagree, Nathan.
Oh,
That's sure.
Oh, right, Brian, go on with your feast of nonsense soft landing garbage that you always peddle. How dare you?
Yeah, because you're saying all people need is just a measurement to show them it's flat. That's completely false. As measurements were brought to you, and you didn't jump all over them. And this is after we become a flat earther, as proof of a flat earth. Surveying measurements, measurements to do with air travel. It wasn't until celestial navigation came along and 10th man brought the elevation angle. Until then you said, yeah, this is what I want. So it's not just so cut and dried. You can just say, here, this is a measurement of a flat earth that someone's going to go, oh, it's flat. That is not.
That's not what he's saying.
But this is what we're talking. This is what we're talking about. It is what he's saying.
It isn't. I think Neil's picked up on where I'm trying to start people off from. I'm saying not that they shouldn't understand a wide variety of flat Earth proofs and how they work, or even that they shouldn't look at how heliocentrism doesn't work, as Dave is perpetuating in this particular interview. I'm suggesting that the starting point shouldn't be speculation about how a globe may or may not work, about NASA, about name some feast of nonsense subjects, false dichotomies about ball Earth turning or not turning, you name it, right? That shouldn't be the starting point. If you get to this subject, the first thing you need to find out is that Earth's measured flat. by whatever means. It doesn't have to be celestial navigation. Whatever the starting point for that newbie who gets to this subject, that's the starting point they should get to then expand their knowledge about heliocentrism if they choose to, or flat Earth if they choose to. But there's no immediate necessity to position your argument, if you're going to argue about it at all, or feel the need to if you already know, with a globe debunking from the off, like Dave's offering. That's what I'm objecting to. You don't need to start your journey with a exemplary understanding of how the globe doesn't work.
Okay, I'll accept that. Yeah, that is correct. The first thing that someone is told they shouldn't be told about how the globe doesn't work. They should be shown some basics to show what the world, a basic measurement of what the world is.
Kiss you. The words should be phrased such that you need a base understanding of how the world is actually being measured, and that measurement requires the ground, the earth, the reference, whatever you want to call it in that circumstance, depending on how new the newbie is. It's flat. That's how it's functionally operating. And if they understand that, be it through the development of maps or the use of maps, if it's celestial navigation that you're talking about, surveying as Dave used, but with a focus on it to the point where the audience member knows at the end of that discussion, this is how Earth is functionally flat, to the point where if they go away and research it, they could easily affirm that which they've been told in no uncertain terms.
But that's what that guy was trying to say. He said he's in construction. He's trying to explain that he understands that it's built on flat. It has to be. And Dave took him into heliocentrism. Why?
Because that's how he's been trained to do this with Feast of Nonsense. We all have, and we've had to break that cycle. This is us starting to break that cycle moving into 2024, to stop the necessity to regurgitate how the globe doesn't work to justify your flat earth belief. Relinquish your flat earth belief, get a flat earth understanding. And then if you choose to understand how globe doesn't work, that's up to you if you want to get into debates and convert zealots. Because that's what it's useful for. It's not useful. I see this all the time in comments and in personal emails and messages and Skypes, things like that. People telling me that out in the real world, it is not like this. You don't find that the person's immediately going to shout at you and rage at you because you've told them Earth's flat. Intrigue is 99% of the time what you get from average normie when you tell them on the street. They don't ridicule you. It's not the reaction that we get on the internet from faceless, nameless trolls who want to make their numbers seem larger by having 25 sock accounts and sharing their pain continually, making it their dedicated job to fight the flat Earth as a woman beater, projecting their aggression onto us. That's what we have to deal with? No, we don't. No, you don't have to deal with anti-flat earthers as a primary concern when you get here. And as me, a videographer and flat earther who's disseminating this information to an audience, I want to disseminate to them that Earth's flat. That's the bit that's important, isn't it? Not how the globe isn't spinning underneath stuff.
Absolute, complete and total insanity. This is an amateur balloon photo without a fisheye lens. This is an amateur balloon photo without a fisheye lens. And when you're up high, you can't even see. The Earth is all whited out. And you go back, it's kind of, the colors are muted.
Who gives a crap? So the horizon has a practical application, though, doesn't it? In both building, surveying, and celestial navigation, you can reference a horizontal plane by use of the horizon. That's its useful practical application in the real world. You establish horizontal with it. Clue is in the name. Establishing a horizontal plane of reference is establishing Earth as flat. That's what the horizon actually offers us. Why are we looking at it and just talking about what it makes us feel like, or how the muted colours make us feel? It's got a use. We use the horizon. So arguing about the non-practical application of Earth curve, which is probably what we'll get into next, again, it serves the same, it generates the same dismay in me for the same exact reasons. Why are we going to get into what Earth curve should or shouldn't do? We can do that at the advanced level of heliocentric debate with anti-flat earthers when we offer them up the black swan. That is 20 levels into the discussion that most people who get it do not need. You don't need to be able to overcome the arguments that we put forth to that extent, to that complexity with the Black Swan. If you're at that level, you're an enthusiast about flat Earth. Yeah? It's touched you in a way that you want to be able to overcome the objections you get from anti-flat earthers. And the Black Swan offers up that sort of super sharp, advanced debate tool. But if you're the guy who's getting here that we would previously praise Mark Sargent for offering a soft landing, do they need the Black Swan? No! They just need to know it's measured flat. And in this case, horizon. Well, what does that offer me as a flat earther? It offers proof in terms of how people practically apply a measurement using it to give them a flat earth as a reference. A horizontal plane of reference. A flat earth. That's all that's important when it comes to the horizon. Oh no, my bad. We all need to regurgitate feast of nonsense about what Earth curve should do at 1.2 times the square root of the surface height in feet, or how 8 inches per mile squared is the Earth curve calculation, or how it doesn't look like it's bending. It's got a practical use. We use it to establish Earth as flat. That's all that matters. That's where you should start. The rest of it is folly for your average Joe Normie. It's advanced for us, and we can wank off about how wonderful we are for knowing the advanced arguments. It's just not needed. This isn't how we should be moving forward into 2024. First thing out of your lips, if you're going to tell someone you're a flat earther, tell them how it's measured flat. Someone brings up the horizon because they're a globe believer who thinks it's curving, tell them how it's practically applied to establish Earth as flat.
But when you see pictures from NASA, this is another one, right? The sun kind of looks like, in all of these pictures, it looks like it's almost the same height as the balloon. But then we have a picture from NASA and we get this. Oh, and all of a sudden you can see the land, you can see the lights, and you have this curve and this green line. This is from NASA.
Yeah, wow.
This is stupid. And here's another one. This is
Stupid? What about telling him how rate of change, that would be the slope or curve that you're presenting, cannot comport when you're establishing horizontal with the horizon? Again, if you're going to juxtapose it, as much as that's my main objection here, with a globe Earth that's presented to you in NASA, you juxtapose it with the practical application of a horizon that establishes a horizontal plane. Rather than just saying NASA's pictures are stupid. Is this the standard? I feel ashamed. Anybody give a comment? I'm going to get my temperament in order because I'm getting more and more exasperated as time progresses with this video.
You just want him to be more advanced, but technically he's not like making a complete fool of himself.
Selectively, we make fools of ourselves when we approach the subject of proving Earth flat with a heliocentric debunking. That makes us all look foolish. We should be more confident. We should know our stuff, not their stuff.
Not in 2024.
We specifically are at the tip of the spear when it comes to debating the nature of reality as a flat Earth, offering up the contrapositive arguments to the globe assertions in debate. Do people who come here necessarily want to get into being a good debater? No. You want to know the arguments. You want to know how the arguments overcome the globe assertions if they're being made, and how a positive claim of a flat Earth can be proven. That's what you'll be coming for. So therefore, that's what you should leave with. If nothing else was achieved at the end of each show, I'd be elated. So every person comes in and they've not got to hear an advanced heliocentrist be taken apart by one of the panel. No, they haven't. But they did hear how Earth was measured flat, because if they take that away, they may not feel the need to ever get into a debate with a family member about it. Oh, right, yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm a flat earther. What? Why? When we've got orbits? Oh, I don't know anything about orbits. I do know that it's measured flat, though. Well, what about this Coriolis effect? I've never really heard that term before. I've got a vague idea what that is, but I don't know how that would relate to your globe Earth belief when Earth's measured flat. You literally can overcome everything if you start off with that, rather than saying, oh, orbital motion. Well, the orbit of Saturn doesn't match up on this. Why are you getting into that wrangle-dangle? Because then all you're doing is arguing about their globe belief and how you say their globe belief's wrong, rather than being confident enough to say, no, I know it's flat. I don't have to have this argument with you. even if I'm ignorant of your belief. I don't need to be a Jehovah's Witness to know I'm not going to be one, and I don't want to be.
I agree with you, Nathan, but except for the Saturn part, it's actually Mercury. But
You know what I mean? Future newcomers don't need that feast of nonsense soft landing and undoing of your current rhetoric that you're stuck in. There's plenty of people who aren't stuck or are open-minded enough because they're young to not warrant giving them a path that they're inevitably going to walk that will lead them to being like Dave Weiss. You know, tarnished with undoing constant affirmations of globe claims that haven't been put to him, that will only leave you thinking about how the globe and how it may or may not work. Well, that's tiring and stressful, and you wouldn't be concerned with it if you just knew it was flat from the off. So that's the rhetoric we need to start pushing, and it'll show its own effectiveness in the people that have come here and gone, oh yeah, I knew it was flat. We went along to flat Earth debate and had a listen for an hour, and very quickly it was obvious that Earth's measured flat in all respects. Now, they offered up some debating points about how globe claims come along that use orbital mechanics, but they also need a flat Earth. But I didn't really pay that much attention after knowing it was flat and how it was measured that way. I just got on with my day. What's that? You want to now convince me of your globe faith? Go away. You're just another fundamentalist religious zealot to me. I don't need convincing of your faith in a globe. But what's that? You need to put them... You need me to understand them? No, I don't. Go away. It's measured flat. Sod off.
Nathan, there's a reason why you got to be thinking outside the box. He's got to push that, because down the road, there's that ether belief that's going to come into play. Always.